Okay, our next section is basically to try to have you think about ageism within our society. This might be something that you think about a lot, or this might be something that has been kind of invisible to you. And so I'd like for us to just think to explore this before we talk about ageism within healthcare. So bottom line is ageism is everywhere. 1 in 2 people worldwide are ageist against older people. That means that 50% of the world's population has the bias of ageism. It's not just here in the United States, in Europe, in South America, in Africa, and Asia. And ageism has an impact across our lifespan. So from that very first video showing you in terms of the individuals who are saying, don't judge me by my age. They were young people, teenagers, that felt that they were being unfairly just seen as their age. I know my preteen sons feel the same way sometimes. And of course, I want to talk about intersectionality, the fact that ageism often intersects with other, perhaps socially unfavorable identities. You know, being older and gay, being older and a person of color, being older and a person living with disability. So ageism can often exacerbate other disadvantages. This is, I feel like I'm sort of pulling your heartstrings, but I really love this video because the truth is when we're talking about ageism in our society, this to me captures ageism in the United States. Funny, it's spoken in another language. I'm not sure, so somebody will tell me.
130 000, 140, 150, 150 000 poprvé, 150 000 po druhém, 150 000 po třetím. Prodáno pánovi s číslem 33. Další položkou aukce je Jiří Navrátil. Panu Navrátilovi je 82 let, zažil několik režimů, vystudoval vysokou školu, byl špičkou ve svém oboru. S manželkou vychovali 3 děti. Takže pan Navrátil poprvé. Pan Navrátil po druhé. Pan Navrátil po třetí. Položka nebyla prodána.
Protože je pro nás důležitější to, co jde koupit, než co lze získat. Přehlížíme podstatné věci. Stáří nám může dát víc, než si myslíme.
That's such a horrible video, but I hope that you understand that there's invisibility when you are an older adult, that you are no longer seen like you're contributing to society, like you don't have worth. Here's this gentleman, he was successful in his career and, you know, developing expertise, a father of 3. He had a lot to be really proud of, but yet it is not considered worthy or of value. And that's what I want you to think about. I want you to think about the fact that often older adults are perceived as not having value in society. And that's our biggest hurdle. So I want to ask you a question, take some notes. How does ageism impact people? You just saw this horrible video, but I want you to also think about ageism and its impact on people in terms of their physical health, in terms of their mental health, in terms of their social well-being, and in terms and in terms of their finances, economically. How does ageism impact these different aspects of individuals' lives? Let's see. Now, we are an ageist society. The best example to sort of really highlight this is to focus on marketing and advertisements. So this is a video that was done in England, and this is to highlight how individuals, young people's perceptions of age are distorted. I want you to really listen hard in terms of the comments that the people make about these older adults.
I'm going to let you into what's happening today. It's actually going to be a social experiment. Ooh. So what probably would be quite good to start with is if each of you could introduce yourself to me.
I'm Tony Penn. I'm a very proud 63. I race cars, a bit of an adrenaline junkie.
I've just dabbled in different fields. Pathology was one of them.
Official job is a drone pilot, flying unmanned aerial vehicles.
Don't feel anything different to when I was 30, which is good.
Yeah, and I've done my personal fitness training, so I'm a personal trainer.
As a profession, I'm a graphic designer.
We're going to move into another room now, but you'll also get to see me doing the groups with some younger people. This ad's for a whitening toothpaste. This is an ad for a mobile internet plan, a health and fitness club.
Oh, they're looking at our photos.
Yellow for you're in, pink for you're out.
Let's maybe eliminate the older guy.
Oh.
2.
Right off the bat.
No and no.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, lady.
Yeah. Tick. Jigsaw boxes,
Yeah.
I think.
It's about a married couple. It's the morning and they're feeling quite pleased with themselves. Which words best work for her there, do you think?
Cheeky, vivacious, healthy.
He's the perfect age.
What's the perfect age?
Yeah, high 20s. Yeah.
Let's quickly touch on the bottom ones. How about this guy?
He's not one that represents fitness in my eyes because he's got all the droopiness going on.
How about this lady?
When I hear fitness, I automatically go to someone in a younger age group.
I think her face, I don't see anything fitness there.
I just think that when they go for the sexy vibe,
I saw it as a younger couple for some reason.
Agreed. I feel like they are just like a little bit too old.
Yeah.
Too old for it.
For what?
To have had sex.
That sort of thing.
And this guy?
Yeah, no. When you look at the words modern, excited, active,
And they'll be less likely to be dynamic because
they're older.
Well, their age, yeah.
Yeah.
I think pretty much got everything we need. Thank you very much.
Why do we dismiss an entire generation?
I'm feeling a bit guilty about those things I said. I feel a bit awful about saying them. Well, once I heard that she was a personal trainer, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, I've learned a lot, but never judge. Quite shocking, actually, to see how, complete strangers see me.
Actually feel it's a bit discriminating.
All of us all went to the same people.
Yeah.
We don't picture the older generation being 24/7, smartphones, technology.
internet creators and innovators and stuff like that, they're all in their 50s, 60s these days.
There is life after 50, okay?
I think when you see them, you feel warm and, it's a lovely, funny feeling. I hate the gut before.
We used to be your age.
Yeah.
We've aged physically, but mentally we're
still
still
the
the same.
2 out of 3 people over 50 have faced age discrimination. Your experience deserves more. There are 2 things about this video that are really important. Number 1, there are lots of different theories about aging. And one of the theories that really resonates with me as an HIV researcher is the theory, I'm so sorry, is the theory that our personalities are like, they don't change as we get older. And I remember learning about this particular model, and it really made a lot of sense that, you know, the older adults that I'm experiencing in my life, you know, that their core personality and their core behaviors remain consistent throughout their lifetime. So if maybe they might get a little amplified as they get older. I'm thinking about my grandmother, who I think was a constant worrywart about everything. And at the end of her life, I think I remember some deer came on my mother's back deck in this new house that they were living in, and she called the police on these 4 deer outside. That's a funny story, but you know, that our personalities stay the same. And so if we are risky in our 20s, we might be risky as an older adult. And we sure have seen this, especially with baby boomers. Baby boomers are the one generational cohort that probably has the most risk behaviors. There's another thing that really caught me, which is the French gentleman at the end. He's just sort of like, well, I like these guys now, but you know, before I hated them. And the truth is, the biggest barrier around ageism is just not knowing. And I think that when people are able to get to know people and understand who they are and their lived experience, suddenly those preconceptions or perceptions disappear. And so thinking about print media and just that image, but yet to encounter those really vivacious older adults was different. And so I want you to hold on to that in terms of the impact of really experiencing and having contact with older adults. And what does that do in terms of your thoughts about ageism? So from the same study, older adults between 50 and 80, 82% said that they experience one or more forms of everyday ageism in their daily life. Every day. 65% said that they were exposed to ageist messages. Could be advertising, could be a note, you know, on social or text on social media. 45% said that they experience ageism in their interpersonal interactions. You know, going to the bodega or going shopping, or hearing ageist kind of expressions from your grandchildren. And 36% reported internalized ageism, believing that they are old. That's something that we really need to work on. A lot of this presentation is going to also focus on language. And so with this next video, this is a compliment that you should not give. I'm hoping that you will also understand that it's not just the image, it's also the most hurtful way of expressing ageism is verbally. And this is powerful. I'm not going to give much away.
All right. How you doing? Hi, good. Have you ever done this before? No. It's exciting. So tell me, how old are you? 19. 24. 29. I'm 41. I'm going to be a mother for the first time. 42. 71. I'm 74. I'm ready. Okay, so we're just going to talk. You're going to show me stuff. Do I need my glasses? I'm going to show you some slides, and I'd like you to fill in the blank and put the words "for her age" at the end of the sentence. All right.
She has flawless skin for her age.
Beautiful, beautiful for her age. She looks better than most 20-year-olds. for her age.
She looks great.
She is beautiful.
Fierce for her age.
In burlesque, I love it.
That might be a little bit inappropriate for her age.
Jane looks amazing for her age.
She doesn't look her age. She's pretty hot.
For her age. For her age. Her age. I'm going to show you some other slides now. So I'm just going to ask you to read the sentences that we provided for you. Okay.
She dances well for a white girl.
She dances well for a white girl.
That's not nice at all.
It's just ridiculous.
She's rich for an immigrant.
No, that's so gross. She's funny for an Asian.
Oh my God, they're getting worse.
Well, this girl's half Asian, and me and her dad are pretty freaking funny, so she's gonna be funny. She's pretty for a thick girl. I hate that. Beauty should not be defined by your size. Yeah, I hate that.
She drives well for a woman.
You can't think like that. And then you bring up your kids like that. Then you have a society like that. We got another one? Is it gonna be worse? There we are. She looks good for her age.
So I didn't expect this to fall apart.
They're all the same, narrow-minded and ignorant.
I'm guilty. I say for her age all the time. It's harder to look good in your late 40s. You can be hot at 23 and you just roll out of bed.
Sometimes I think it's good and sometimes I don't.
I didn't realize I was really insulting anybody because it's only because if someone says it to me, I think it's good.
It's not a compliment.
It's really like a backhanded compliment.
I think it is a bias. People are definitely labeled by their age.
I guess for her age is more commonly accepted. This is okay to say.
Which is like, why? You look good is a lovely compliment, but to qualify it, you're saying, well, in comparison to the mainstream of beauty, you don't look good, but you look good for how old you are.
It's degrading.
I think everyone should understand this. I think people be treated differently. Say you look good, period. You know, don't add for her age.
No, I'm going to leave the for your age part off.
Unless you're asked these questions, I don't think you have the mind to start this conversation.
You know what? Everyone's going to get older.
It's time to change the conversation. This is probably one of my favorite videos. And I hope that you are able to understand the power of words. And that is a common expression. And to be able to unpack it like that, I think was really, really powerful. So we need to be cognizant of our words and how we frame things. Speaking of words, 1 out of 10 senior citizens, and by the way, this is a word actually we don't use, we prefer older adult, believe that they have been looked down upon or are treated in a humiliating, shameful, or degrading way. This is true. So we see these words. Cranky, senile, weak, childlike, senior, feeble, crazy, needy, an invalid, frail. These are powerful words. And if you are working within a clinical context, you need to be mindful of the language that you use. So, ageism alert, do not use the following: elderly, geriatric, senior citizen, even retiree, I think is a little bit problematic, because what you're saying is that your identity is defined by the fact that you're working or not working. And I think that we really prefer at this particular moment, there are all kinds of shifts in language today as we embrace our new inclusive new normal, that older adult is more appropriate than senior citizen or elderly. I added older folks for the people who are Southern. And I wanted to also add boomer, because boomer has been used in a really derogatory way, like okay boomer. And boomer is also affirming. Boomer, if people don't know, is the name of a particular generational cohort. For example, I'm part of Gen X. I'm very proud to be Gen X. It situates me in a particular history and moment in time. I share a lot with other Gen X people in terms of what was happening at that particular moment in the world. So boomer is actually affirming for some older adults to link themselves up to a particular time. But, you know, it's also been used in a really hurtful way. So here are some images. Irene, 103, senile, I'm a lot of things, and senile isn't one of them. Or at the bottom, Harry, 67, cranky? I love my family. I'm the life of every party. I volunteer to help others as a senior companion with the city of Boston. I am a lot of things, and cranky isn't one of them. This is our last video for this particular section. This is the age campaign from which those clips came from Boston. And this is a powerful way to kind of conclude in terms of the impact of language in our society.
I've been called many things.
Little old lady.
Grumpy old man. Weak. But you didn't think that, right? I'm the life of everybody. I start trends. I'm an activist. I am in my prime. This is my bingo Tuesday. This is my senior moment in the city of Boston.
These are some really powerful, effective campaigns. And I love the fact that I included boomer because boomer has been flipped around to be negative, but also boomer has been appropriated again as a sign of community. So just like the one woman sort of said, this is my senior moment, you know, taking that expression of internalized ageism, I'm having a senior moment, to no, this is my senior moment, and owning it. Our next section is going to talk about ageism in healthcare.